Hello, today we are going to explain the plot of a movie called The Renata Road, which was released in 2022. Well, let's start with the story.
Do you like this?
The sound of the telephone ringing combined with the noise of the highway, and in a remote hotel called Renata, there was a guest of a foreign man who was never named. He sat in the lobby and read a book, and soon an old man who was the Renata hotel manager came and escorted the man to his room. On the way to the room, the hotel manager did not give the foreign man a chance to talk. The foreign man also seemed a little uncomfortable with the hotel waitress. Even in the room, he found things that were not tidied up. The foreign man tried to lie down on the bed, but he woke up again. Then, while reading a book, he saw a towel lying on the floor. Then he threw the towel into the bathroom. When he turned on the television, there was not a single station that caught his attention, so the Renata hotel service seemed uncomfortable to him. Feeling a bit annoyed, he then went out to get some fresh air. He then went to the hotel swimming pool, but he was just silent and observed the situation around the pool. Then he went to a room where there was a pool table. There was a red ball left on the pool table. He then pushed it into the hole, and when the ball entered, there was a recorded voice explaining the rules in the hotel. The foreign man then looked for the source of the sound coming from, which turned out to be behind the wall decoration. Shortly thereafter, the man went back to the hotel to see what was going on. And in the hallway, he saw the waitress enter the room of a middle-aged woman named Agnes Hangdog, but he didn't know what was going on inside. The foreign man got tired of walking around and decided to go back to his room. Unfortunately, when he wanted to rest, the man had trouble sleeping because from his room he could clearly hear the sound of a couple having fun. And from then on, he began to feel strange about the rules in the hotel. He then went out and stopped at a simple cafe that was still in the hotel. His arrival was immediately greeted by the barista, who offered him an alcoholic drink. But this foreign man refused because he knew it was against the hotel rules of not to drink alcohol after 9 o'clock at night. As the morning wore on, the foreign man went outside to have breakfast. It was then that he began to realize that the hotel had a life. He saw some of the other hotel guests and met a couple, Daniel Hangdog and Agnes Hangdog. At that time, Agnes tried to talk to the foreign man, but her husband forbade it and asked his wife not to disturb him, and the foreign man just remained silent and enjoyed the silence at the dining table. When the food was delivered to the table by the waitress, the man then felt the noise coming from Daniel Hangdog while eating. But strangely, in that situation, the waitress seemed nervous. She even accidentally dropped the spoon and scattered it on the floor. The foreign man was surprised and took the initiative to help the waitress, but Agnes Hangdog prevented him. And with what happened, the foreign man did not even have time to taste the food that had been prepared. He then wandered around the hotel and happened to see a woman doing yoga, and while stalking her, the foreign man's existence was realized by the woman, and the woman named Ginny Masters then asked him what the foreign man thought of the yoga technique Ginny had demonstrated earlier. The foreign man was nervous, and without answering the question, he went back down the hotel corridor. But he was surprised to meet a woman sitting in a wheelchair, and it turned out that the woman was the wife of the hotel manager. The hotel manager, realizing the foreign man's existence, then greeted him and invited him to chat. He told him that he had no employees in the hotel. He then asked the foreign man's help to hang tapestries in some places. After helping the hotel manager, the foreign man returned to his room, and as he was about to enter the room, he met a man who lived in the room in front of his room, and the man named Percival Lamb greeted the foreign man and immediately entered his room. In the hotel room, the foreign man again saw the items in his room that were again in disorder, although he remembered that the items had been tidied up by him. And at the time, he had just heard a message from the manager through the loudspeaker that the red ball on the pool table was missing. Another strange incident happened when the foreign man was swimming in the pool. He felt that there was a figure watching him. It turned out that the figure was Ginny. Ginny looked like she was trying to steal the foreign man's attention. The woman did not even hesitate to say hello first and tease him. In the end, they talked. Ginny seemed to have succeeded in stealing the foreign man's attention and teasing him. But soon a man named William Thompson came and brought a towel for Ginny. They both then left the foreign man alone in the pool. After swimming, the foreign man went to the cafe again. He was greeted by the barista, who this time offered him a stick of tobacco. But while smoking the tobacco, the foreign man coughed several times, and after that, they talked for a long time, until finally the foreign man decided to leave the cafe. In the hallway, he again met the hotel waitress who was seen coming out of a room nervously. The foreign man saw that he was being recorded by CCTV, and indeed, the hotel manager was watching his movements on several monitors. When the foreign man returned to his room, he found a series of irregularities where the toothbrush was again in disarray. Although he had repeatedly tidied it up while trying to sleep, he was again disturbed by the sound of a couple having fun. The influence of alcohol made him excited, and he tried to finish it alone. Until finally, the position that makes him unable to do it alone makes foreign man want to leave the room immediately. But he just opened the door and there was the hotel manager's wife who was sitting in a wheelchair right in front of the door to his room. The next day, the foreign man went back around the hotel and caught the barista peeping into a couple's room. And the barista told him that the hotel room door had 2 keys. A small size was used by guests, and a large key, which was the main key. And the barista's explanation made foreign man remember the manager's wife, who was in front of his room door previously. When he tried to stalk, it turned out to be Daniel and Agnes's room. The foreign man was surprised to see the couple's game looked like a boxing match, and the foreign man realized that his movements were being monitored by CCTV. He then went to the restaurant and enjoyed breakfast, and again at breakfast he met Daniel and Agnes, where Agnes tried to invite the foreign man to talk, but Daniel scolded Agnes and silenced her. The foreign man then went to the pool table, where he met Percival Lamb, who then greeted the foreign man and invited him to play pool with him. They then talked about many things related to their respective lives. In between their conversations, the foreign man then asked Percival Lamb if he felt anything strange in the hotel, but it seemed that Percival was confused by the foreign man's question, and instead, after he told him about it, Percival Lamb gave him medicine and said that the next morning would be bright after taking it, and when he wanted to pay for the medicine, Percival Lamb said he gave it to him for free but needed the foreign man's help to pick up an item. In a room with a CCTV monitor, there are the manager and his wife, as well as the hotel waitress and the barista. Then, the hotel waitress gets food to give to the hotel manager's wife. And when everyone leaves, the barista and the hotel manager's wife are left. The woman then asks the barista if he is happy with life there, and the barista explains to his mother that he likes his life. In the hallway, the foreign man was busy reading a book while walking. The hotel waitress accidentally bumped into him and made the item he was carrying fall down. And that's when the foreign man's medicine was exchanged by the hotel waitress. In the evening, all the guests gathered at the banquet dinner. There were many entertaining performances for the hotel guests, but unfortunately not for the foreigner. He felt that the performances given by the hotel were boring. The situation became quiet when the hotel waitress gave entertainment by singing. But when the hotel waitress sang a song to tears, the foreigner felt that the waitress was trying to give a signal after the dinner was over. The foreign man was brooding as he walked through the corridor to the cafe. There he met the manager with his wife. The foreign man spoke to the manager whether he could get rid of the hotel rules that bothered him, but the hotel manager ignored the foreign man's complaints. When the foreign man was about to go to bed, he heard the lovers having fun again. Then he remembered the medicine that Percival Lamb had given him and immediately drank it. When he woke up, it was morning, and he could pass the night that had previously made him restless calmly, but the effect of the medicine made him a different person. When he met Percival Lamb, he found the hotel manager playing cards. The 3 of them then played cards with bets, but Percival Lamb invited cooperation with the foreign man to cheat the manager, because if not, then the manager will continue to play with them until late at night. And sure enough, after losing, the manager then left them both. The foreign man then gave the item requested by Percival Lamb earlier, and after giving it to him, Percival Lamb gave him many medicines. Then, after getting the medicine, the foreign man then swam. And there, he met the barista and talked to him, where he apologized to the foreign man for the performance at the dinner. The barista said that he was forced to do it because of the pressure from the hotel manager. The foreign man was shocked to hear from the barista that they were all tied up and bound in the hotel. And even more shocking, the barista tried to seduce the foreign man, but the action was stopped after the waitress came with a towel. The barista then left the foreign man alone. In the room, the barista invited the foreign man to dinner, where he, the manager, and his wife, and the barista then had dinner together. And there was a waitress who stood nervously while they ate and talked. Until finally there was a little argument and made the manager angry, and here the waitress was just scared to see them, while the uncomfortable foreign man then said goodbye to return to the room. When he wanted to sleep, he was disturbed again and again by the sound of a couple having fun. But this time he, who was annoyed, got up from his sleep and tried to find out where the source of the sound came from. And by chance, he met the waitress who was not wearing her usual clothes. This time the waitress was wearing a white dress and out of curiosity, the foreigner followed her, which led him to a room. When found, the waitress seemed to be crying, but the foreign man tried to convince her that he would not hurt the woman. But the waitress said that the foreign man would not be able to help her. But the foreign man insisted that he could stop it, and soon the waitress then left. Looking at the situation of the room, the foreign man was curious about the monitor that showed CCTV footage throughout the hotel. But soon, he returned to his room until someone gave him a DVD, and when he played the DVD, the foreign man was surprised because it was revealed that all the rooms were also monitored by CCTV cameras. Panicking, he immediately searched for the CCTV cameras in his room, but could not find them. He then went out and met the barista, who gave him a key to open the room, which revealed a number of surprising facts. The angry foreign man then approached Ginny Masters and William Thompson's room to stop their crazy actions. Then the foreign man shouted very loudly and invited all hotel residents to come to them. All the hotel residents flocked to the foreign man and locked him in a room alone. And the manager told the foreign man that he would never be able to get out of the hotel. And the surprising thing was that when the hotel residents gathered, the hotel manager told them all that the show was over. On the other hand, the barista was talking to the waitress and threatening her. The waitress could only be frightened when the barista threatened to do something terrible to her if she did not comply with his instructions. Then the barista asked the waitress to continue with his plan. Not long after, the waitress approached the foreign man in his room, and without further ado, the waitress immediately removed some of the buttons on her shirt and danced a little while asking the foreign man if he was happy. The foreign man then pushed her slightly to prevent things that should not happen. But the waitress still insisted on inviting him to have fun. Inevitably, the foreign man then got carried away and they were about to finish it. It turned out that their actions were being directly monitored by the barista through CCTV footage, and at that time the foreign man, realizing the mistake, then inviting the waitress to leave, the barista, knowing his movements, then displayed what the foreign man would do with the waitress on all the TVs in the hotel room. Suddenly, all the hotel residents who saw this immediately flocked to run out of their rooms, while the hotel manager who knew this went into the CCTV room, but the barista locked it from outside. The manager panicked when he saw all the hotel residents now running to try to escape from the CCTV monitor. Meanwhile, the barista told his mother that this was not his place and he should not be here. And while running, the waitress fell, and at that moment, the foreign man and the waitress who was trying to escape met barista deftly. Barista immediately attacked the foreign man to make him lie down and asked what he was thinking, and shortly after, all the hotel residents came and actually dragged the waitress back, not to escape. While in the CCTV room, the manager was seen repeatedly banging his head on the door, making him unconscious, while the foreign man, who was in a semi-conscious state, could only watch as the waitress became the victim of all the hotel residents who seemed to turn into zombies to enjoy the waitress together. When the foreign man came to his senses, he only saw the doll and the waitress lying limp on the floor with many claw wounds all over her body. The hotel situation had returned to silence as all the hotel residents had entered their respective rooms. The foreign man then tried to continue his escape, but unfortunately there was no other way out. Sometime later, the foreign man returned to the hotel, but this time the hotel manager who approached him was a different person.